So you're gonna get your first paying client in the next 7 days, and I'm gonna tell you step by step exactly how to do that. No fluff, just straight execution. So if you implement the things in this video, you will get your first client in the next 7 days. And if you don't know who I am, I'm Chameleon K, and I have been a full-time entrepreneur for the last 13 years. So I've been around the block for a while, and I can teach you a couple things. So this is gonna be one of them. And so let's go ahead and get ready. Get your pen and your paper or notes in your phone, however you take your notes, and let's go ahead and get into it. So the first thing I want you to do is get social proof. So if you're going to do this by day 1, day 2, whatever, the first thing I need you to do is I need you to get social proof. So for example, if you're a hairstylist, do somebody hair for free and do your best. I'm talking about do your best work, like showcase yourself. So that way that you'll be able to have good pictures. If you need more than one person to showcase different things or different styles, do that. Sometimes you have to give a little to get a little, or should I say give a little to get a lot. If nobody knows what you're capable of, then how are they to know to trust you in order to pay you to do something they've never seen you do before? Okay, so that's number one. Get some social proof so you can show people what you're capable of doing. Next, what I want you to do is I want you to come up with a no-brainer, and right now we're just coming up with it. So think about what you can offer or what would make sense with your specific business to put out there. We need to come up with a way to make it a no-brainer for people to come to you. This can look like a buy one get one or a 2 for 1. So 2 people being serviced for the price of 1, or buy one get one. It's the same. It's kind of the same thing. Buy one get one. Buy one get one is stronger than buy one get one half off. But whatever you're comfortable with or you feel like would bring people in for what you do that. This can also look like a trial price, or the first time the person is serviced with you, they get a severe discount, right? So let's say something is typically $120 and you're doing it for $60. Something like that. Something that is extremely compelling, that they aren't able to get anywhere else. Because remember, right now we're trying to get them in the door. We need to get them in the door. So, and this can also help you out because, like I said, you have a little bit of social proof, but ask these people if you can take pictures, if you can take screenshots, if you can showcase their results. If they allow you to do that, especially at the discounted price, you're getting paid right now to build even more social proof and to build even more credibility. Because if you don't have it right now because you haven't had anybody pay you for your services yet. So we need to go ahead and get that social proof in the beginning. And even when you're getting paid, keep building that up. Keep building as much as you can, or as much as people will allow, because some people aren't comfortable all the time. But if you are able to, take advantage of that. What I'm saying is, don't look at it as a loss. Look at it as an investment. You're building your business. Some people don't profit at all. And I mean, for like a first year or 2. So if you are able to even profit, that's a win. But build up your credibility in the process. That's all I'm saying. Another thing you could do is a free something with a service that somebody pays fully for. So let's say you do bikini waxes, and maybe you know how to do vajacials, and a vajacial could be just, I'm not really sure, I've had one but I don't exactly know everything that is involved or what's included. But like, let's say the vajacial just includes that mask or whatever that they put on you afterward for however long it's put on you. So if you get like they pay for the wax, but then they get a free vajacial for this week only. And that's another thing that takes me to my next point, which is you can also offer something for a limited time. So this is actually combining the two. So you get a free vajacial with a wax this week only. You can market it as in your grand opening, your first clients, your beta test, whatever it is that you do that makes sense, the verbiage that makes sense for what you do. So play around with that. I want you to really brainstorm. I want you to really think about what it is for your specific business that you can offer that is compelling for your client, and maybe come up with 3 to 5 things that you want to experiment with. Next, you're going to meet them where they are, both physically and emotionally. So let me go ahead and get into what that means. So where would they be looking or not? And so let's go ahead and let's tackle where would they be looking. So what happens right before they're looking for your services? What happens right before they need your services? So say, for example, you are a credit repair person, right? And maybe somebody wants to buy a house. Maybe they're trying to buy a car and they are being denied or their interest rate is going to be through the roof because their credit's not straight or their credit isn't together, right? So where would you physically be advertising? Where would you want to be in front of them at? Where would these things be happening for, where would it make sense for you to advertise or be in front of them? That's one of the things I want you to think about. Now, I did mention if they're not looking. And this is 100% where knowing your ICA comes in. And if you don't know what ICA is, it's your ideal client avatar. And I'm talking really know them. And I'm going to get into why that's important and how that ties into how they aren't looking and they don't even realize that they need you until you point out the fact that they need you. So you should know exactly what they're feeling, what they're thinking, and when they aren't looking for you, what challenges are they facing? They just may not know where to look or if your solution even exists. So let's say you're a nail tech and your ICA keeps going to get their nails done, and then 2 days after they get their nails done, their nails are chipping or their nails are easily breaking. They may keep having this negative experience over and over again, and this is where you come in and this is where you fill in the gap. So let's say your clients don't come to you till 3 weeks later, because when you do their nails, or a technique that when you do their nails it'll last a month. They don't got to worry about their nails breaking, at least not easily. They would have to literally bang their nail against a wall or something, like shut it in a door or something for it to break. When you have that advantage and you can speak to their issues, you can speak to their pain points, this is where when a client isn't looking for you at all, they're just tired of their nails breaking, they're just tired of their nails chipping, whatever their issue is, they're not even thinking, they're just going back to the same nail tech and getting it fixed. But maybe that's where you come in. Come get your nails done and you won't have to come back to me for a month unless you want, a fill-in, like your nails grew out or something like that. That should be the only reason that you're coming back to your nail tech. If you're coming back to your nail tech for broken nails or for chipped nails, sis, you're going to the wrong place. You need to know how to talk to them. You need to know whoever your client avatar is. You need to know how to reach them and speak exactly to what they're experiencing so that you can go ahead and reel them right on in, okay? Another thing you should know about your client avatar is you should be able to speak to their reservations. So if you don't know, I'm a realtor. That is one of the businesses that I have. And so people have this misconception that you need 20% down to buy a house. It's like, that's a damn lie. Like, I know it's a lie, but a lot of people have this misconception that you need 20%. They see that and they shut completely down. They don't have, that much money to put down on a house, so they think it's out of reach. When you go to even some loan calculators and things like that, it's always 20%. So it scares people off. It's like that's their reservation. They don't even want to talk to you because they know they don't have it. So it's not even, they feel like it's no point in even talking about buying a house. But that's a reservation for somebody, for like a realtor, right? What are the reservations for your ICA? This is how well you need to know them. Like, what can stop them from coming to you? What fears or what objections can you overcome up front? What objections can you go ahead and tackle up front so that they don't feel like, oh, I'm scared to even reach out to this person. I have so many that I know specifically for what I do or the things that I do because I know my ICA, and I need you to know your ICA just as well. That's just one thing, but like it's a whole lot I could get into, but I need you to know your ICA like that. Like I need you to know what their reservations are just as well as I know mine. Okay, so go ahead and work on that, figure out what they are, because we're gonna get all of this ironed out before we even start talking to them. And once you know these things, then you can look for the gaps, you can look for the different ways and the creative ways that you can get their attention when they aren't even looking for you, but you say the right punchline, you say the right hook, and they didn't even realize like they needed what you offer, and now they're engrossed in whatever you're talking about. They're engrossed in whatever comes across their feed. They're engrossed in whatever they happen to see that is the exact thing that they were having an issue with. And this can also be an easy way to have an advantage. This is an easy way to be the first person or the only person that they come to, because you were the first or the only person to point this out. And it's so easy, like when there's no other noise for whatever you're talking about or whatever pain point you hit that nobody else has. That's an easy way to reel a client in. Okay, so I want you to find what those pain points are. That's the next step. Let's get into the next one. Let's go ahead and move on, but that's an important one. So after you know all of the above, next you're gonna market to them. Okay, so this could be business cards, and I know that sounds so old-fashioned, right? You have the little digital cards and this, that, and the other, but let me tell you something. There are so many ways to market. So if you have business cards and you, like I said, let's say you do credit repair, right? Say you do credit repair and you have a local dealership, or even a salesperson that they don't mind you putting your cards on their desk, or leaving your cards in their place of business, or leaving it in restaurants, or it just depends on what you do. What makes sense? Where's your clientele at? Get in front of them however you need to. Some people if you don't have like a lot of money to pay for ads, and that's another thing you can do. I'll get into that in a minute. But if you don't have the money to pay for ads, it doesn't cost a lot to create business cards and put them out. Another thing you could do is you could do flyers. That's another thing. You could put those out. You could do mailers. You can partner with somebody if you can't afford to do the mailers yourself. Maybe you on one side, they on the other, if it makes sense for what you do. If you do lawn care, you can partner up with a real estate agent. Let's partner up and let's go ahead and do some mailers. You on one side, I'm on the other. We split the cost, and let's go ahead and try to dominate this neighborhood. That one isn't always successful on the first try. Sometimes that takes several attempts. However, it's all in your marketing, it's all in your messaging, it's all in hitting people at the right time. So that's why it's important to know where they are, who they are, where they hang, where they frequent, things like that. And again, this can look like ads if you have the money. It's a whole lot easier. That's kind of like testing, throwing things at the wall. Let's see what sticks, and then whatever sticks out of all of these things that you put out, whatever sticks, then you turn off all the other ads, and let's say it's two. Those two are the only ones that you keep going and you keep adding more money to, because those are the ones getting you results. Okay, so that's how you would do ads if you do go the money route. Another thing, don't sleep on Craigslist. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm not gonna tell y'all anything that I haven't tried. Okay, don't sleep on Craigslist. You can get some clients from Craigslist if you know how to talk, if you know how to speak to your ICA. I'm telling you. Another thing is, of course, Facebook groups. You in the right groups, you in front of your ICA, you know how to talk to them, you know how to do your hooks, you know your punchlines, you know what's gonna get their attention. You can do Facebook Marketplace, market yourself on there. You can always collab with other businesses. Now I know, like I said, this is you getting your first client, so right now you guys can't really benefit off of each other's audience because you don't have one yet for that for whatever you offer, right? You can get there, and when you get there, you do that at that point. So for now, you may have to pay somebody to get in front of their audience, or find people that have the attention of your audience but aren't in direct competition and willing to allow you to market yourself there. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I've tried all of this. It all works. And I'll say this, I've gotten a client, customer, whatever, from everything that I have said today. I have gotten a client or customer from every advertisement tactic I have just told you. All of it works. I say this, even cold calling, although I didn't go over that. But what I'm gonna say is this: you need to figure out, once you do these things, or once you try these things, even figuring out what you enjoy, then you can stick to that, or what works the best, then you can stick to that. Just try it though, because this is your first client, so you don't know what's gonna work, you don't know what's gonna stick. So once you figure that out, that's what you're gonna stick to. Next, I want you to get them to have a conversation with you or meet with you. This is where you're able to flex, okay? This is where you should be able to close them. Now, different businesses call for different approaches, all right? So for example, one business may call for the knowledge you have. The way that you get this client is by the knowledge you have. I know this works a lot with buyers, home buyers for me, right? Me actually having a conversation with them and telling them a lot of the things that they don't know or they didn't know, and how to get where they're trying to go, works for me. It makes me stand out. You need to figure out what in your business can make you stand out. What do you do differently? What is your, what they call, unfair advantage, okay? And this is unique to you. So if you actually have somebody come to you, if you have a business like I said, like a beauty business of some sort, maybe it's the actual experience. Maybe, it's like them calling you and booking you. Of course, they may have questions, they may not. And if they're just booking you based on the sale that you're giving, in that instance, that's your time to give them the white glove service that I have talked about before. This is the time for you to make them feel like a complete idiot going anywhere else. They don't want to deal with anybody but you after experiencing you. And I don't care who they experienced before you. This is how you need to make them feel if you actually get the opportunity to service them. This can even be in your offerings, or what you give, or what goes along with your service. It can be just you. It can be who you are to your clients or for your clients. It could be what you offer, what you physically offer, how you make them feel. There's so many things. You just need to be so unique. I need you to figure out what that is about you. What is so unique about you that they literally will, if you're on vacation, wait until you come back to use you, and only you, okay? That's how you want your clients to feel about you. That's also one of the ways that you get endless referrals too. And one last tactic is, depending on the type of service that you offer, sometimes it makes sense, just to get them to talk. Sometimes you're in a position where you don't want, it's not always in your best interest to say, this is what I do, I know. In some instances, it's not all about you. It's not all about what you do. It's not all about what you offer. Sometimes it's actually just getting that person to talk, getting them to tell you what they're looking for in a provider, getting them to tell you what they don't like, or why they no longer want to use the last person they used. And you can use those things to your advantage. And also, sometimes it's just to figure out if you are even would be a good fit. So sometimes, all money isn't good money. So sometimes, you know, you got to do the firing. Sometimes you need to let, you know, you do the letting go. If you know that it's not going to work out or it wouldn't be a good fit, then be honest with yourself. But yeah, sometimes that is the nature of the business, like to get them to talk about what they want and what they're looking for, and then you go from there. And then last but not least, it's time to get paid. You close them and you get paid. After you do all of these steps, it's no reason that you should not have a paying client. If you do all of these things, it is no reason that you should not have a paying client. Dedicate some time, get it done, and in 7 days, yes, within 1 week, you should have a client. Love y'all.